I always say, there's nothing quite like the month of March to get us in the mood to play a Halloween game. Listen, if stores get to play Christmas music 3 months of the year, then I get to play some Costume Quest. So Costume Quest is an RPG focused on gathering costumes with unique abilities, and going door to door trick-or-treating, as candy is this game's currency, and we can use it to buy items to buff up our team. As a speedrun, we're mostly focused on good routing, item and costume selection, and RNG. It's Halloween night and we find ourselves in the home of fraternal twins Reynold and Ren. They're new in town and are told to go out and try and make some new friends. We make our selection of which character we want to play as, and it's time to trick or treat. We knock on the door of our first house and meet a guy who refuses to give us any candy due to our sister's lame costume. That's pretty rich coming from a guy dressed as a cowboy. I'm sure somebody on the street will give us candy. Let's try this next house. Well, that's a Class A felony. It's a good thing that there's no adults or any other witnesses around to see this 6-foot-tall grubbin Uncle Ricoing my sister over this demon gate.
What the heck are you doing?
We find out that the gate won't open until all the houses in the neighborhood have been looted of candy. This is our first battle encounter and the tutorial. It's faster to mash your attack button rather than wait for the timing in this fight, since your special ability will always kill the enemy anyways. After beating the Grubbin, we meet Dorsilla the Witch, who calls us annoying and tornado magics our costume clean off. But luckily, this cat with a disturbingly profound butthole points us in the right direction to find our costume. After a little vandalism, we find the 3 pieces needed to rebuild our robot suit. The robot costume is insanely useful due to the skates that let us move around quickly and also let us jump the ramps placed around. We find the town bully Travis beating up our soon-to-be friend Everett. After provoking Travis, he chases us around the neighborhood until we ultimately prove that roller skaters are way cooler than skateboarders. With Travis out of the picture, we meet up with Everett and he joins our party with the night costume. Now we've got to go door to door collecting candy to open the gate that our sister was thrown over. Some of the houses are occupied by monsters though, putting us into battle. A lot of these battles play out similarly. Target any healers or warlocks first, then after 3 attacks, use your robot's special ability for some higher DPS. We'll use the knight's shield ability later on in tougher fights to keep our health up. We'll talk to this kid dressed as Lincoln and the bouncer about getting into the party. They say we need more patriotic costumes to get in. They give us the password to get past the guards protecting these parts to build them. After visiting a couple more houses and gaining a level up, we find the first guard who lets us through, but we can only get through if we shield ourselves with the suit of armor equipped. We'll slip by Pennywise the Clown and grab the sheet that's inside this sewer, then exit, talk to another guard, and grab the final 2 pieces of the Statue of Liberty suit. Stopping off at a few more houses along the way to trick or treat and battle, we complete the quest to get the Statue of Liberty. Now with appropriate attire, we can enter the party. Using the Knight's Shield, we can block the knockback from the squirrel in the tree, and grab a cherry for the bake sale lady who will let us through to the next part of the neighborhood. Now that we have some candy saved up, we can go talk to Sadie in the park who sells battle stamps. We'll buy the increased crit strike damage, the splash damage, and the increased attack power stamps. With the neighborhood completely looted of candy, we can now get through the gate that our sister was tossed over. Skip the 3 patrolling monsters, grab a piece of the pumpkin costume by talking to the Scarecrow, and meet Bojan, a middle management monster who is really just trying to do his job. We see our sister being carried off into the bus with the other candy and need to get past Bojan to get to her. We'll focus on attacking his megaphone since he uses it to call other monsters into the fight. After it's destroyed, we'll take care of the shaman and finish him. We hitch a ride on the back of the bus and start praying to whatever god we believe in that this bus doesn't go on the freeway. The bus eventually arrives at the mall, and we need to build the Space Warrior costume in order to light up and get past the areas that are too dark. The suit of armor will protect us from falling debris, and we'll talk to what seems to be the worst mall security guard I've ever seen. He claims to see the monsters as teenagers, and one thing is apparent. Either he's been huffing too much paint, or we have. We'll get the jump on the patrolling monster, giving us initiative as well as pre-battle damage. The other fine employees of this establishment, who seem to just be standing around, give us the final pieces of the Space Warrior suit. Okay, wait, I don't get it. Is this an abandoned mall or something? Why are there even workers here? Whatever. Skipping what enemies we can, we get ambushed in the dark by a trobog and take care of business. After a small cutscene in which we argue with the security speaker, Reynold mentions that he wishes his sister had never been born. Sometimes. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt us though. Oh, so I guess the mall is open, and this appropriately dressed man feels the need to tell us about how the monorail is broken. That sounds like a you problem, my dude. We head straight to the arcade to find kids who are being forced to play games to earn candy for Bojan and his crew. We'll take care of Bojan once again, but this time he doesn't have a megaphone. Just kill the extra enemy and then focus him. We get the scarf and open the back entrance to the railway system to get the sparkly fabric in the chest. Once we head back, we meet Lucy, who is investigating why the monorail is broken. She happily joins as our third member. We'll equip a battle stamp for her and put her in the knight costume. One final battle with poor old Bojan. Kill his ads first, defeat him once more, and the monorail is fixed. Now we can get back to some trick-or-treating. After the store battle, we'll talk to Derek the ninja, who tells us we can't get to the upper floor until we bring him the horn of 3 monsters. Okay, so, the adults claim that these monsters are teenagers, right? I don't really want to think about what the horns are a euphemism for. But anyways, let's cut the dicks off these kids. We'll hit the closest stores while collecting the horns, and grab the chest upstairs for another costume piece. With the 3 horns needed, we get the ninja outfit, and we can now access the 3rd floor to continue trick-or-treating. Now having visited all the upper floor stores, we'll jump down into this pumpkin to grab another costume part and finish off trick-or-treating. Along the way, we'll head into Sadie's shop to pick up some more battle stamps. There's a fun little nod to Psychonauts, with this being a camping store and the music being the Psychonauts camp music. We'll grab the increased HP, greatly increased attack power, and the small HP recovery stamps. Finish off trick-or-treating on the ground floor, and then we'll enter the costume judging contest with the Statue of Liberty to win the unicorn costume, which can heal and even revive a downed teammate. Up next is Metzel and his Candy Dozer. He makes us fight his goons before attacking us. We focus one monster down and he joins the fight, but not before making a rather racially insensitive remark about how all trobogs look the same. Come on man, you're better than that. We'll use the Knight's shield ability on whoever is being targeted by Metzel's stare to neglect his big damage, and heal with the Statue of Liberty if necessary. Finish him off, and Dorsilla makes another appearance, pulling out the speaker from that cutscene earlier where Reynolds said this.
Mama Mia Papa Pia, baby got the diarrhea.
She captures the kids and takes away their costumes. With the future looking grim, the kids decide to take the easy way out. They slide down the hill and overhear an argument between the 2 monsters who have their costumes in a chest. We find out that they're both hungry, so we need to find a way to lure them into the barn. We meet one of the 6 kids who are playing hide-and-go-seek in these parts, and they tell us to search for their friends. I really don't think this is the time for hide-and-go-seek. Maybe hide-and-go-tell the police, am I right? Guys? We walk into town and meet a struggling fry stand operator who asks us to help him get customers. We'll help him out, but first let's go back and get our costumes. Luring the monsters into the barn and somehow escaping with them locked inside, we get our stuff back. Now we can go find the remaining 5 kids, trick or treat, and bring some new customers to the fry stand. We'll go down the line trick or treating at all the houses in the city. Once at the end, we can put on the fry costume to attract the first customer. We'll stop by Sadie's store, grabbing the rotten egg stamp, and then lure the kid back to the fry stand. We'll get the second customer who's standing by the fountain, and the final customer who's by the dock. We get the tickets for the carnival, find another hiding kid, and we meet Dorsilla's brother, Dorian, who claims to be many things, including a helpful cat and a mysterious scarecrow. He wants to help us stop his crazy sister, and tells us to go to the top of the Ferris wheel to find the path. We see some monsters already up there, shaking down some kids for their candy, so we need to find a way up. After we beat the monster on the ground, we'll grab a part of the vampire costume from the chest and then head down to trick-or-treat at the tents. We find the 4th hiding kid along the tent path, and then continue on trick-or-treating until we're next to the cannon. We'll sneak past the cannon stuntman with the ninja costume, then switch back to our robot costume before launching to the top of the Ferris wheel. After defeating the monsters, we'll hit the last 2 tents to trick-or-treat and use our Space Warrior costume to get past the dark area. Grab this kid hiding behind this tree, and we'll light up this cave to get another vampire costume part. Kill the bird in the path, and we'll finish the pumpkin costume, find the last hiding kid who awards us with a bigger candy bag that also gives us higher damage, and finish the vampire costume. We meet a Grubbin who doesn't like Dorsilla and says that if we can get through the maze and find his 3 friends, we can have a Grubbin disguise that will help us get past the security gate. We'll skip every encounter by waiting for the patrolling monsters to pass us by and grab all 3 pieces of the disguise. The guard now lets us through, and we can go straight to the second Metzel fight, which is just another damage race. Yeah, not so tough now, are ya? Let's see what he's gotta say. Guys, I think we may have murdered Metzel. We'll make the final ascent to Dorsilla and our sister at the top of the hill. Equip the pumpkin, unicorn, and vampire outfits, then put the stun ability stamp on Reynold and the increased HP stamp on Lucy. For this first fight, Dorsilla will trap a random party member in vines. We'll always prioritize killing the vine trap first, and then focus all other DPS on Dorsilla, ignoring her clones. When Dorsilla starts concentrating on a spell, we will interrupt her with the Rotten Egg stamp. Heal is needed, and we'll take her down relatively easily. Now it's time for the final battle. Before starting, equip the large HP recovery stamp on Reynold and the small HP recovery stamp on Everett. Dorsilla calls for backup in the form of Big Bones the Skeleton. Unfortunately for Dorsilla, we use the security speaker to play back a recording of her scheming about getting rid of Big Bones once she gets all of the candy back to Repugia. He bans her from ever coming to Repugia, which upsets her enough for her to give our team a power boost to defeat him. His attacks do splash damage on party members, but we should be fine to deal with most of it with the healing stamps we have equipped. We'll use the pumpkin special ability for high damage, and we'll save the unicorn and vampire special abilities for when we need to heal. When Big Bones kills one of our party members, we can bring them back to life and heal them with the unicorn ability. He enrages at around 1000 life, and this is when we need to focus on our heals the most. Survive, and we send him back to... I'm gonna be honest in saying that it looks like we send him to the depths of hell, but that's none of my business. With Big Bones defeated and our sister saved, Dorian, who is at this point still a complete stranger, drives us around in this stolen bus, throwing out candy to kids in the streets. Ren asks if we can do this every Halloween, which I find a bit strange seeing as she quite literally did nothing to help us in any way. The story ends with the kids and their newfound friends back at the home of Reynold and Ren. They have a candy draft in which Reynold picks black licorice, and I realize that I should have just let him actually fall off that cliff. You know I'm just kidding. But seriously, if you like black licorice, f*** you.